Hello everyone. Hello UK. Hello world. Sunday morning, well, afternoon actually, I think. Yeah, it's past midday, so it's actually Sunday afternoon now. Hope you all had a good week. I'm going to do a live as part of my thyroid series. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a advanced personal trainer and nutrition therapist specializing in diabetes, hypothyroidism and autoimmune disorders. And today I'm going to talk to you as part of a thyroid series about reverse T3, because that is not often spoken about and is actually as important as some of the other thyroid hormones that I've mentioned in my previous lives. If you want to find out more about thyroid series, and also I'm doing the diabetes series, you'll find all the videos I've done about that on my YouTube channel. Which is under my name, Stefania Fabrizi, or you can find them on my Facebook page. All the lives are saved there as well. Okay, so first of all, before I go through explain what reverse T3, also known as RT3, is, let's do a quick summary about the hormones involved with the thyroid, so then you understand when I mentioned them before what I mean. So first of all, the thyroid glands. We've got two thyroid glands at the base of the neck. Yeah, thyroid glands are vital. Yeah, the hormones the thyroid glands secrete is vital for survival. Yeah, so without thyroid glands, without thyroid hormones, we're dead. Yeah, so it's a very important glands to have, and it secretes two main type of hormones: T4, thyroxine, which is most of the amount almost the thyroid secretes, but also secretes a small amount of T3. Now, T4 is known as the inactive thyroid hormone, while T3 is known as the active thyroid hormone. Hi Annie Thompson. Hello. If I see you, I will mention you. If I don't see you, please say hi, and then I'll hopefully see you that you're watching. Yeah. So the T4 being inactive, what does it mean? It means that the body cannot utilize that, for the purpose it's supposed to, which is speed up metabolism and many other processes in the body, and it needs to be converted into T3. Hi Shefika. So the T4 and to T3 conversion happens in the liver. Yeah, so if you got issues with the liver, they might be issue with converting from T4 to T3. So those are two main hormones secreted by the thyroid glands. Yeah, T3 goes straight to the cells as soon as it's secreted to start, helping with the production, metabolism, and everything. T4 goes it's taken to the liver converts it to T3, and then it's secreted to the various cells and so forth. Now, the other one, which is a thyroid metabolite that was mentioned to you, is called reverse T3. Now, as the name suggests, it is the reverse of the active hormone T3. So it's, and as a result, it does the opposite. So it blocks T3. So where does it come from? What's happening? Why the body has reverse T3? Well, first of all, reverse T3 is converted from T4. So when the inactive form of the thyroid hormone T4 goes to the liver, it's converted to T3. If under certain circumstances, instead of being converted to T3, it gets converted to reverse T3, which basically is a thyroid metabolite that impairs the use of T3 for the body, which means then you're going to get into trouble. Yeah. When the amount of reverse T3 is high, it will cause major symptoms, namely hypothyroid symptoms. Yeah, and as I said, it will block T3. So when does the body produces reverse T3? Well, the body produces reverse T3 in state of stress. Yeah, so because reverse T3 is basically like a brake on the metabolism. Yeah, and is used as a brake of metabolism on extreme time of stress, slows down your metabolism, energy production, and moves all the energy to vital organs. So if you think about it, in time of stress, the body needs to make sure anything that's using energy that is not necessary is blocked. Yeah, and all the energy is sent to the immediate organs, and this is just it's got its purpose in the body. Yeah, and is again is a mechanism the body uses for survival. If you think, in the Paleolithic era, when the early men, what they used to do, the time of extreme stress would be, for example, they're being chased by the saber-toothed tiger. Yeah, so the body has to produce adrenaline, produces cortisol. When you got high level of cortisol, because when you're under stress, the body produces high levels of cortisol. Yeah, cortisol and everything starts activating, and then the T4 gets to convert into more reverse T3 as opposed to T3, because the body has to divert all the energy to what is going to get you out of trouble. Yeah, you got to run away from a saber-toothed tiger, and then after that everything goes back to normal, because the body is not supposed to be under state of stress repeatedly, constantly, multiple times a day. Yeah. The problem we have, obviously, in today's, our lifestyle, is that the form of stress we get are from everywhere. So we are constantly under stress. And when you're constantly under stress all the time, then T4 doesn't get converted into T3. It gets converted more into reverse T3. Reverse T3 blocks your active thyroid hormones, and all of a sudden then you start to get these symptoms, symptoms of hypothyroidism, underactive thyroid. So we're talking about weight gain, or it could be you're trying to lose weight, you just can't lose weight no matter what. Fatigue, real exhaustion, depression, hair loss, all different things, feeling cold all the time. Yeah. So those are symptoms of hypothyroidism. The interesting thing is that when you go and do blood tests for the thyroid to find out, when you get to know the symptoms, so that these symptoms normally are red flags for doctors, because when you say stuff like that, they straight away think thyroid. The problem we've got in the UK, and I believe is in many other countries as well, is that under NHS they will only test your T4, yeah, which is the inactive form of the hormones, and the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormones, which is basically a signal that comes from the gland, pituitary gland, telling the thyroid, hey, I need more T4, more thyroid hormone, there's not enough going around. Yeah, but that's pointless, because you're going to have plenty T4. Yeah, because the T4 is not the problem, is that it's getting converted into T3, it's getting converted into reverse T3, or the conversion to T3, the active hormone, the one you want, is not working properly. Yeah, so the blood test the doctors do will show normal. And let's say there's nothing wrong with your thyroid, everything is fine. Because they don't test T3, the active form, or the reverse T3, they don't test them. The reason why doctors don't test those two particular hormones in the UK is because the NHS will not treat them. Yeah, there's various reasons for that. Most importantly, the fact is that the tests are expensive. The NHS, for some unknown reason, don't believe that T3 is important, which is absolutely ridiculous, because the active form of the thyroid, and the medication are more expensive than the standard T4. Yeah, so the doctor will tell you, no, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid, maybe you're just stressed. Yes, you are stressed, they're right, but that is affecting your thyroid. But because they don't check the right hormones, they'll send you home, or they'll tell you, I was told for many, many years, it's all in your head. Chill. Learn to live with it. Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's absolutely bull. I'm sorry. So that's one of the issues. So the way it works is you got stress. Yeah, which I'm going to go into stress in more details in a second. Stress reduces your T3, because T4 is not going to get converted to T3. It's going to get converted to reverse T3. So you got low T3, high reverse T3, but your T4 and your thyroid stimulating hormone are perfectly normal, so the blood test will not show any of that. Yeah. And another thing is that reverse T3 is actually common with people with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto thyroiditis, which is the autoimmune version of underactive thyroid. So if you suffer from hypothyroidism or Hashimoto, then chances are your reverse T3 is high. You can test for it, yeah, and I'll mention to you later on how to do that, but the doctor will not test that for you. You need to go privately for that, yeah, and then there is a solution for that as well. So what causes, so that's the ballpark of what reverse T3 is, yeah. Under stress, T4 gets converted to reverse T3. That's a mechanism the body uses for survival. Unfortunately, it's not planning. That is not meant to be used constantly. Yeah, it's our lifestyle that is causing the problem. So, causes of reverse T3. Right, first of all, low calorie diets. Yeah. Now, I've had my thyroid, one of my thyroid removed 20 years ago. Yeah, and a bit autoimmune, Hashimoto. For those 20 years, nobody bothered, investigating that at the time. Probably they didn't even know it existed in those days. And what you do when you go, you're hypothyroid, because you either put on weight for no reason or you struggle to lose weight, the first thing you do, reduce your calories. go on a low calorie diet, because that's what, especially women, that's what we do. You know, we need to lose weight, starve ourselves, because that's the way to solve everything. No, it's not. Now, if you're hypothyroid, that's the worst thing you can do, because guess what? Low calorie diet equals stress. Yeah, you're activating that stress response. T4 gets converted into reverse T3 instead of the active form of T3, so you're compounding the problem, making it 10 times worse. Yeah, and you're never, ever, ever going to lose that weight. You're making the problem worse. You're going to feel worse. You're going to increase your symptoms of hypothyroidism, feeling more tired. So if you're more tired, you feel, the less you're going to be exercising. Yeah. So you're making the cycle 10 times worse. Yeah. So low calorie diet, no. So if you are struggling with your weight and you're hypothyroid or you got Hashimoto, you need to seek the help of somebody who knows what they're doing. Yeah. So, somebody like myself, obviously I'm a personal trainer, so I deal with the exercise side as well as the diet side, or get to see an endocrinologist, non-NHS endocrinologist. Let me make this clear. If you go to an NHS endocrinologist, you will get no answers. They're tied to do what the NHS tell them to. They cannot test you T3 and reverse T3. Yeah, you need to go privately to an endocrinologist, prepare to do the test you need to do, and give you the solutions. Yeah, so low calorie diets, no. They will make it worse. Yeah. Chronic illness and infection. What is that? So it could be anything from, let's say you've been on antibiotics recently. Yeah. We know what antibiotics do. They kill the bacteria, but they also kill the good bacteria in your gut. Yeah. And then you get an overgrowth of bad bacteria. Yeah, so that will be a type of infection you can have. Leaky gut. Now, anybody with autoimmune, not just Hashimoto, any form of autoimmune, whether it's rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, leaky gut is one of the underlying causes of autoimmune disorders. If you got leaky gut, that's a form of chronic illness. Yeah, and that will cause stress in the body. Yeah, diabetes, the ultimate chronic illness, diabetes, ongoing type 2 diabetes specifically, but also type 1 is a form of autoimmune. Yeah, heart disease. Yeah, if you're on statins, you know, you got high cholesterol, heart disease in the family, you suffer with heart disease, and obesity. Now, obesity is, people think obese when somebody's overweight. Now, obese is well beyond overweight, and when you're obese, you are into the metabolic syndrome. So you will have various markers out of whack. You will have high blood pressure. You will have you'll be insulin resistant. Even if you're not diabetic yet, you'll be insulin resistant, potentially type 2 diabetes already. You will have high cholesterol, and you may end up on statins. Yeah, so there's various things. Obviously, central obesity, so meaning you store all the weight in the belly, so you're very big around the waist. Yeah, that increases. You put fatty liver and all different things. So that's obesity. That is a state of chronic stress, chronic inflammation. Yeah, which will cause your body to respond to the stress with converting more of the T4 inactive hormones to reverse T3, causing more problems and getting your thyroid into trouble as well. Yeah, chronic inflammations, autoimmune disorders is a typical type of chronic inflammation. Cancer. Yeah, so if you suffer from cancer, oh my God, if you've been given something like any medication for cancer, if you've been given chemotherapy, I mean, that destroys everything. That's ultimate poison, destroys absolutely everything. Of course, the aim of the doctor is to save your life. Yeah, so you have to go for chemotherapy or radiotherapy, but in the process of doing so, they totally destroy everything else. And of course, you will have at that point very high reverse T3, so that needs to be fixed. Yeah, insulin resistance, already mentioned. Diabetes is one of the stressors. Insulin resistance, you may not be type 2 diabetic yet, but insulin resistance starts a long time before you become diabetic. You could be insulin resistant for years before you actually start developing high glucose levels that is diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. Yeah, leptin resistance. Now, leptin is the hormone that deals with hunger, so that tells you you're full, makes you feel satiated. And leptin resistance is very often associated with people who are obese. That's why people who are obese or morbidly obese can't stop eating. They're not that they're greedy, it's that the hormone that tells them they're full does not work, and they're hungry all the time. Yeah, that's leptin resistance. Irritable bowel syndrome, any type of gut issues. So irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel disease, which includes Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, those type of autoimmune disorders as well. Candida, you know, if you have a diet that is very high, especially in things like sugars, processed foods, you will find you got an overgrowth of candida in your gut. Yeah, again, is a type of stressor. Yeah, inflammation that causes issues with increased reverse T3. Yeah. So other things could be emotional stressors, yeah, trauma, and all the type of emotional stressor. For example, accidents. Yeah, if you have a car accident, road traffic accident, that is a major stressor. You know, not just for your body, but also emotional stressor. Yeah, and that will increase production. Oh, it's trying to cut me out here. Okay. Post-traumatic stress disorder. People in the army, you know, they come back. I mean, the stuff they see at war is ridiculous, and very often they suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. But it could be for anything. Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen for any type of, even for accidents. Death of a loved one. I mean, that's a major, major emotional stressor. Yeah. Divorce. You know, there's so many emotional stressors out there. Financial difficulty, you know, puts a lot of stress on people. So, not just physical, emotional stress as well, inflammation, as well as chronic illness. These are all type of stressors, and as you can imagine, we are on that all the time. There's always one of those going around, isn't it? So our life is, we constantly all under stress, and that's why I'm saying the body's not designed to deal with constant day in, day out stress. The body's a machine for survival. The body's designed to deal with stress. Boom, give you the energy you need to get out of trouble, and then go back to calm. We don't have that these days. We got stressors all the time. Yeah. And other stress, I mean, to be honest with you, technology is another stressor, because if you think about it, how many times do we look at stuff on Facebook, we get either excited or we get upset by what we read on Facebook, or trolling, you know, social media trolls. I mean, they can destroy people. Yeah, there's things like on in certain groups that, especially youngsters that are more vulnerable, the groups that encourage people to become anorexic. The group encourage people to self-harm. I mean, these are all type of stressors, you know, bullying as well, but stressor. Yeah, so technology, as well as chronic illness, chronic inflammation, trauma from accidents or emotional trauma, stressors, they all contribute. But there's also medication. Yeah, some type of medication increase your stress level and increase cause an increase in reverse T3, and namely things, medication for diabetics. Yeah, okay, so insulin, yeah, metformin, they cause problem, and of course we already said that diabetes is, as a chronic inflammation, type of inflammation, is one of the sources that will increase your stress level and cause more conversion to reverse T3. Beta blockers. Now, beta blockers are given to people who've got a heart problem. Yeah, especially when the heart rate is too fast. Controls keep the heart rate stable. Yeah. So again, those may control the heart. Yeah, may help with the heart rate, but then it can cause problems elsewhere. Yeah, with your thyroid. Antidepressant. Now, this is something that it drives me insane, because one of the symptoms of hypothyroidism is depression, anxiety, but mainly more often depression. So what doctors do, they give you antidepressant, Prozac and the like. Yeah. Now, we know that medicine, today's medicine, despite the fact that we are so much more advanced, medicine is used to treat symptoms. It's not used to fix the cause of the symptoms. Yeah. Just think about metformin is used to reduce the blood sugar, in the sugar levels in your blood. Yeah. It's not fixing insulin resistance, because you got the insulin. If you're type 2 diabetic, you're producing it. It's not an issue. Yeah, it's just your body doesn't want any more sugar, so we just shove it in the cell by giving more insulin. So it fixes the symptoms, but not the cause. Yeah, and it's the same with antidepressant. It fixes the symptoms, but not the cause. The cause of your depression, yeah, if you're hypothyroid, is your hypothyroidism. Is the fact your thyroid gland is struggling. Then they give you antidepressant, they make your body convert T4 into reverse T3, making your symptoms 10 times worse. And that's why you never get out of it. Yeah, the problem has not been fixed, only the symptoms has been fixed. Another medication that increases conversion to reverse T3 is anti-seizure medication, like medication for epileptic. Yeah. Now, of course, you got epilepsy, you need to be very careful. You need medication. However, there are ways around it. This diet has been one of the very, very, very first uses for the ketogenic diet was to control seizures in children. Yeah, that's been proven to work for adults as well. You can actually come off, medication and control your epileptic fit through diet. Yeah, the problem is, as I said, the doctors, the whole medical system is set up on, giving pills, symptom, pill, symptom, pill. If they can't give you a pill for that, they tell you live with it. And that's a typical example for autoimmune disorders, Hashimoto. I was told, I say you got Hashimoto, say it's normal. You got, you know, just live with it. No, you can actually control autoimmune disorders with diet. Funny enough, you can actually put in remissions with diet. You know, imagine that. Diabetes, type 2 diabetes, you can put in remission with diet. Oh, imagine that. No, let's give you a pill instead. Yeah, so that's to be aware of that. So some medications, you know, it's they, while they seem to be helping, they're making things worse. Yeah, I'm not saying come off your medication, but for goodness sake, you know, you go, if you beta block stuff like they come off, and you're gonna end up with a heart attack. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you need to understand, but for certain things, you have to make an intervention, a dietary intervention, a lifestyle intervention, reduce your stress levels, and increase your sleep, yeah, and also an activity intervention, yeah, and those will help you get the balance back on track, and then you'll be able to come off medication. Don't come off medication first and then do the intervention. You start doing the intervention, and then you'll be able to, as your markers come down, you'll be able to make it, you know, to come off medication. So these are the causes, yeah, for reverse T3. So stress that comes in various forms, from low calorie diet to chronic illness like diabetes, you know, heart disease, obesity, chronic inflammation with autoimmune cancer, insulin resistance, your leptin resistance, gut issues, trauma or emotional stressors with accidents and so forth. And obviously some medication can increase more stress and cause conversion to reverse T3. So what's the solution? How do you get it sorted? First of all, you need to know you got high reverse T3, you know, because if you don't know it, then is pointless. Yeah, as I told you before, the doctor will not test you for T3, which is the active hormone, or reverse T3, because they will not give you a pill. Yeah, and the pill exists. You know, if you are you're experiencing symptom on underactive thyroid, yeah, so difficulty losing weight or gaining weight for no reason, feeling cold all the time, fatigued all the time, you know, depression, hair coming down in chunks, sometimes joint pains, you know. If you experience these symptoms and the doctor's telling you, no, your thyroid is fine, then please do a test. Either test your T3 levels or your reverse T3 levels, yeah, or both, yeah. Now, T3 tests are cheaper than reverse T3 tests, because reverse T3 tests, less people ask for those, yeah, and they'd be more expensive. But you can get them, you can get your whole thyroid panel. I use a company called Medichecks for myself and for some of my clients, and I've got a practitioner account with them. That means you can get discounts through me, and they've got a full thyroid function test there for £69. And what you do, you test all the hormones, TSH, T4, T3, and even your thyroid antibodies, yeah, that will tell you whether you have Hashimoto, the autoimmune version of that, yeah. So it's not that expensive, yeah. And once you found out if you got an issue with T3 conversion or reverse T3, because bear in mind there could be two issues, yeah. Your body could not be converting T4 to T3 properly, yeah, there could be an issue with that converting in the liver, or your T4, most of it is being converted into reverse T3 because you're under constant stress, yeah. So either of those can cause a problem. So you need to test to find out. Once you find out what the problem is, you need more. If you got high reverse T3, you need to have more T3. The doctor will not prescribe T3. You need to have a private endocrinologist to describe that. And I'm telling you, the medication is not that expensive. I am on combined T4, T3 medication, yeah, because I've only got 20% of one thyroid gland left. Yeah, I haven't got two thyroid glands, I've got 20% of one thyroid gland left. 80% was removed 20 years ago from the doctors. The other thyroid gland completely destroyed by Hashimoto, because nobody bothered checking for that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You have to before it's too late. Yeah, so I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. Yeah, but I went to private endocrinologist because I found out my T3 was extremely low, rock bottom. Yeah, and that's why I was getting all the symptoms. Doctor did not want to know anything. I went private endocrinologist. She did the test. Yeah, we need to put on that and combine T4, T3 medication. And I'm telling you, it's not that expensive. It works at 40 quid a month. You know, it's not that expensive. Yes, if you're on thyroxine, level thyroxine, you get it for free under NHS. Great. But would you rather take a medication for free and be miserable for the rest of your life, getting your symptoms getting worse and worse, feeling depressed, both because the thyroid levels is too low and because you can't lose the weight, being in pain, cold all the time, losing all your hair? Would you rather do that than pay 40 quid, you know, to fix your body properly? Yeah, so it's a matter of choice, but most important is a matter of knowing you have the option, because NHS don't tell you. You have the option to get T3 privately. They don't test T3, don't even test reverse T3. Yeah, so they don't give the choice, and that's wrong. That's the whole idea of me doing this live, is to let people know this is what available to you. This is how you can do it. And if you then choose to do it, it's entirely up to you. I can't force you to do anything, but the best I can do is give you the information, and then you make your informed choice. Yeah. So test your T3 levels and reverse T3 levels. Yeah. Once you know if you got an issue there, you need T3 medication. Go privately for that. You won't get it in NHS. What other things you can do is support your thyroid, support your T3, your active hormone. Yeah, so thyroid needs various things to help it work optimally. A few minerals that it needs: zinc, magnesium, iodine is very necessary for thyroid, but also it needs for the liver to be working properly, because remember, the conversion from T4 to T3 happens in the liver. If your liver is sluggish, especially if you're overweight, you might have an issue with fatty liver, too much fat around the liver, which is actually a serious condition. Yeah, your liver will not be working properly. Yeah, so things like milk thistle, which is a plant, yeah, so supplement from a plant, helps the liver, function better, supports the liver. And another thing that a lot of people with thyroid issues have, and leaky gut issue have, they got low stomach acid. Yeah, and if your stomach acid is too low, you cannot, even if you eat all the right foods with all the supplements that your body needs, with all the minerals, that vitamins your body needs, you will not absorb them because you can't break them down properly. Yeah, so in that case, then you need to look at betaine HCl, which is betaine hydrochloric acid, which is stomach acid. Take supplement for that. How do you find out if your stomach acid is too low? It's very, very easy. Take a half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, put in a nice big glass of water, drink it, ideally fasted first thing in the morning. If it takes you a long time to burp, then you got a problem. Now, if you burp straight away, you're good. If it takes you, 5-10 minutes to burp, then you're fine. No, if you burp straight away, you got too much stomach acid, then you might need to control that. If it takes you 5-10 minutes to burp, then you're good. But if it takes you 30 minutes over to burp, then that means your stomach acids are very low. You need to take supplement, otherwise whatever you eat will not be broken down properly, and it causes malabsorption. Yeah, the first time I did this test years ago, when I found out that's what you could do, I did the test. It took me over 24 hours to burp. That's how low my stomach acids are. And you know what? I was suffering at the time from a lot of heartburn, indigestion, and the doctor told me, oh, you got too much stomach acid. They put me for years on Zantac and Gaviscon. I was taking Zantac, Gaviscon on a daily basis because heartburn, because the doctor told me you got too much stomach acid. Zantac and Gaviscon are what brings down your stomach acid when you got too much. So instead of giving me what helped me, they gave me the very thing that I didn't need. So it got my stomach acid so low after so many years. Yeah, then of course, my thyroid never got better. I was probably deficient in a lot of things. Yeah, but the moment I started taking betaine HCl, the heartburn stopped. Isn't that funny? Yeah, so just be careful. Sometimes symptoms of low stomach acid and high stomach acid are similar. So we assume because you got heartburn, it's too much stomach acid. No, very often if you got autoimmune and if you got underactive thyroid, very high likelihood is that you got low stomach acid. So do the test and then take betaine HCl to help you. Yeah. So supplements as mentioned. Another thing you need to do, if you're insulin resistant, you need to reverse that, because say insulin resistance not only is a precursor to type 2 diabetes, but also is a constant state of inflammation, chronic inflammation, that will hinder your production of T3 and ease the production of reverse T3. How do you know if you got insulin resistant? Well, there's blood tests you can do that will tell you straight away. Yeah, but a very quick way to work out if you're insulin resistant is, first of all, do you get hungry very quickly? Yeah, so if you need to eat every 2 to 3 hours, I'm telling you, you're insulin resistant if you get hungry all the time. Yeah, but also if you got a diet high in refined carbohydrates. Yeah, so it's your white carbohydrate, if you like, white potato, white rice, white pasta, white bread, pizza, all that kind of stuff. Processed food, that's any processed food. Remember the rule for processed food: if it didn't walk, fly, swim, grow from a tree or grow from the ground is processed food. It's that simple. Yeah, if you didn't have a if you didn't have a heartbeat, didn't grow tree or ground, it is processed food. Yeah, so anything you buy that is, even if it's labeled as healthy, yeah, is not healthy if it's been made. Yeah, so you buy normal ingredient like, you know, they used to, it likes exist in nature. Yeah, that's when what you want to eat. So if you eat processed food regularly, especially food that contain sugars and bad fats, the bad fats are refined oil, refined seed oil. So you got your canola, rapeseed, soybean, safflower, sunflower. All those ones are nasty, nasty, super refined. Do you know what it takes to get oil out of a seed? It takes chemicals. That's what you're having when you have those oils. They're chemicals. Yeah, you cannot squeeze oil out of a seed easily. It goes through a chemical process to get oil from that. So stay away from that. Concentrate on olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Avocado oil is good. Yeah, coconut oil for cooking. Yeah, butter, if you can tolerate butter, dairy, great. Otherwise you can go for ghee if you want. You can use other type of animal fat, like you can use tallow, you can use duck fat if you want. Yeah, so choose your oil. Yeah, what you want, the good oil, not the bad oil. So all of those refined vegetable oil, refined carbohydrate, high sugar diets. Yeah, and I'm not talking just about the sugar, sweet and stuff like that. High fruit diets. Fruit, if insulin resistant, stay away from fruit. Yeah, but fruit is good. No, fruit is not good. Fruit is not good if you're type 2 diabetic or insulin resistance. It's not something you can have. Tons of vegetables. You don't need fruit. All the vitamins, minerals you got in the fruit, you can find them in vegetables. And you can find them in liver, most of them as well. Yeah, so you don't have to have fruit. If you're going on insulin resistance, yes, you can have fruit, fine, but control it. Yeah, go for low glycemic fruit. Yeah, so berries, apples, pears. Don't go for the super juicy stuff that you know, grapes. Oh my God, super high sugar. Yeah, so stay away from those ones. Choose your food properly. Yeah. So to reverse insulin resistance, so diet first and foremost. Stay away from processed foods, stay away from sugars, stay away from refined carbohydrates. Yeah. Exercise, you must exercise. You know, some of the main issues with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance is lack of activity. Exercise every single day, activity every single day, 30 minutes of activity plus at least 2 times a week some form of resistance training. Yeah, and then of course to control your stress level, you also have to make sure you sleep adequately. Yeah, so it's no good you doing the diet and exercising regularly and then you get 4 hours of sleep every night. It's not going to work. Yeah, sleep is when the body restores itself. Everything restores. Yeah, if you don't get enough of it, yeah, it's not going to work. It's everything. It's got to be together. Yeah, remember the pillars of health. Yeah, diet, exercise, stress, sleep. Those 4 pillars are mandatory for health. If any of those is missing and it's not optimal, you can kiss your health goodbye. Yeah, okay. So, and reducing inflammation in the body, because I said lots of the causes of reverse-free production is stress caused by inflammation. So inflammation can be caused, as I mentioned, by disease, so diabetes. It could be caused by obesity. Again, you fix your diet, your obesity is not an issue. Bacteria in the gut, so maybe we're taking antibiotics. So again, you know, probiotics, take some probiotics to help your body, or probiotic containing food. Fermented food is quite good as prebiotics to help your gut restore itself. Yeah, but it also can be caused by food sensitivities. Now, you know, is if you got food sensitivity and you keep on eating that food, it causes inflammation in the body. Yeah. Now, how do you know? Because you get symptoms. You know, if after eating something you get bloated, you know, you get diarrhea, or you get constipation, or you get skin rash, yeah, or you get headaches, you know, or you get lethargy, you know, very common with wheat, with sensitivity. You have anything containing wheat, a sandwich, pasta, bread, whatever it might be, and then you get this massive slump. You know, an hour later you can keep your eyes open, you're falling asleep. Yeah, lethargy. That's a typical sign of intolerance, yeah, or sensitivity. Run a food intolerance test. Yeah, if you need help with that, let me know. I've got a company very good at running them, quite cheap as well. Yeah, find out if you got sensitivities, food sensitivities, hormone imbalances. Now, this is particularly a problem for women. Yeah, what you got to understand is that women hormones up and down all the time. Yeah, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, everything is all over the place all the time. Yeah, and estrogen and progesterone in particular will impact your thyroid function as well. Yeah, so very often there's a lot more and more women these days, we are estrogen dominant. That means our estrogen level is too high, and that will have impact on your very heavy periods. There's more and more women with endometriosis, with polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, messes are completely. So you need to know what's happening with your hormones. If your estrogen is high, it will screw up your thyroid function as well. Yeah, do tests. And again, if a doctor, there should be no reason why a doctor refused to do blood tests to check your hormones. But having said that, I went to a doctor to have my hormones test, and I had to fight to get your hormones tested. Yeah, because they said, well, if you're premenopausal, we know your hormones are down anyway. What? Excuse me, I want to know what's down and by how much so I can fix it. So I had to fight. So again, if a doctor is not playing ball, what you do, go privately. These tests are not expensive. These days you can do tests, online. You can go to a private clinic, and they're not that expensive, but you need to know what's going on. Hormone imbalances will cause problem with the thyroid, will cause problem with conversion from T4 to T3, and increase and reverse T3. So you need to know. And also you need to know, because sometimes estrogen dominance can be caused by food. Now, if you eat a lot of soy products, yeah, you are going to be in trouble, because soy product contains phytoestrogens, which are compounds that mimic estrogen, yeah, causing your body to be on increased estrogen, have more estrogen. And this has been proven for male as well. Male who have too many soy products starts growing boobs. Yeah, start getting female forms. Yeah, so that is, you got to be aware of that, because if you've got estrogen dominant, there are certain foods you need to cut out to make sure you don't compound the problem, make it worse. Yeah, and of course gut issues. As I mentioned to you, gut is important not only for your immune system. Yeah, because the immune system resides mainly in the gut, but also if you've got gut problems, overgrowth of bad bacteria or IBS, irritable bowel disease, anything like that, any of those things will cause you to develop deficiencies because you cannot absorb food properly. And if, like me, you got celiac disease as well as Hashimoto, well, you're in for a ride of your life. Yeah? Because with celiac disease, we absorb, if we're lucky, 50% of the nutrients. Yeah, so it's even more important that you're aware. If you have any of this, you're aware. And if you got an autoimmune disorder of any type, it doesn't have to be Hashimoto or celiac disease, you must follow an autoimmune protocol. You must. There is no way around it. You can reverse all the symptoms and the inflammation from autoimmune only if you follow the right protocol, diet protocol. Yeah. So that's it, guys. So I've gone a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but today was all about making you aware of this thyroid metabolite called reverse T3, which impedes the action of T3, which is your main active thyroid hormone. So if you are experiencing symptoms of hypothyroidism, or if you got Hashimoto and your blood test, the standard blood test from doctor say you're fine, you are not fine. You need to test your T3 and reverse T3. And if the test highlight you got problem with, you got too high reverse T3, then you have to work on lowering your stress level, both from stop this low calorie diet, please. The low calorie diet will screw you completely. Yeah, the one thing you got to understand is that the body does not understand diet. The body is a perfect machine built for survival. If you go on a low calorie diet, the body understands famine. And what does the body do in time of famine? It needs to survive. It holds on to fat, and it decreases your muscle mass, because muscle is what burns the most amount of calories. So you drop muscle and you keep all your fats. Great, brilliant, just what you want to achieve. Yeah, so please, if you're if you've got hypothyroidism or Hashimoto, you want to lose weight, please get help. Yeah, I got programs, online programs. So if you don't live near me and I can't come and see you and help you pay face to face, I've got online programs you can use. Yeah, and you get 12 weeks programs, and after that you can do monthly maintenance programs if you want. Yeah, and I can help you remotely. You don't have to be in the UK. You don't have to be it can be globally, provided you can speak either English or Italian, because guys, that's what I'm limited to, English and Italian. Yeah, I can't speak any other language. So if you come to me from China, sorry guys, that's where it ends. The help ends there. Yeah. So yeah, or go to endocrinologist. Yeah, as I say, outside of NHS, because they're not allowed to test or to give you prescription for T3 or reverse T3. Okay, so but there are ways you need to do. Once you know you got a problem, you fix it from the inside. Don't rely on the pill. T3 medication is needed if your T3 is too low, because you need to have active form, because you're not converted, you got too much reverse T3. So that would be one of the steps you need to do. But everything else is around reducing your stress level, wherever they're coming from, like all the ones I just covered doing this live, and supporting your thyroid with the right supplements. Yeah, and making sure you haven't got any other things in the background, like food sensitivities or hormonal imbalances, that are causing the problem as well. Yeah, okay, so blood test, go outside of NHS, get the answer through a good endocrinologist, get the help that you need for somebody who specializes in hypothyroidism, Hashimoto, autoimmune, and so forth, like myself. Okay, and as always, if you know anyone who suffers from any of these issues, hypothyroidism or Hashimoto, please share this with them. They will not know. You know, my aim of doing all this live is just purely to get the information out there to people who need it. Yeah, because this information, unless you look for that, unless you know what you're looking for, you will not find it. The doctors won't tell you this. NHS endocrinologists won't tell you this. Yeah, so you need to find out from yourself what the information is. So my goal is to try to get information out to the people who need it, so then you have a choice to act on it or to keep where you are. Is your choice, because at the end of the day, as I always say, you will not change unless the pain of staying in the current situation is more than the pain of change. We know that changing is difficult. We don't like change. Once the pain of your current situation, of your symptoms, is worse than the pain you will take on making a change, then you will change. Yeah, when you're ready to change, you will change. But if you got the information you need prior to that, then you can make an informed decision on whether it's the right time for you to change. And if you need help, as I say, just contact me. Okay, so that's what I want to say, guys. I hope you had a good week. I hope next week is a good one for you as well. I can see a few people here. If I haven't mentioned you, my apologies. Thank you for watching. I can see Shefika, Chessie, Catherine, Lena, Jeanette, and there was somebody else before, Annie, you know. So I hope you found this useful. Share it with anybody who needs it. And as I always say, put comments if you any question. Put comments under the video as soon as I post it live, and I'll happily answer your comments. Okay, have a good day, everyone. It's time for me now to go hit the gym and get some of my stress out. Okay, see you all. Bye.